Greetings, dear precious, magnificent, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present, because you're part of that person that you are, and you're always a person. You're not ever going to be some impersonal thing. I've been everywhere. I have tremendous memory. In the light, into there, in the blah, 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 and you're always, it's you being there. So you always have identity, and that's to recognize and be that who you are. Anyway, my topic, there's only one eternal law. That's it. There's only one eternal law. And what happens when people break that law is what's going on in the world. Disasters, man-made, natural, however they're going along, to combination, whatever, complete disasters of people flooding, burning, all of these kind of things. You've got animals dying like that, people leaving their bodies suffering while they're suffering in the children being abused and tortured sexually and in some depraved, terrible way of just violence and cruelty to get some particular adrenochrome so people can have some longevity and beauty and life and and when you get these people, some people have incredible wealth, other people don't even have a place to sleep at night where they're comfy and nice and protected and food to eat and all of this kind of thing. This isn't natural, it isn't normal. Something's going on. And when you have spiritual awareness and you know who you are, you can recognize truth from false. You observe the duality world. You don't take sides, positive, negative. You don't give power to those kind of words, because you do what you need to do because you are who you are. That's all. And when you notice how the sicknesses in people and all of the people suffering in that way and all the money and all the energy people work to build this and this and this and then gets stolen from and all of this going on, it's because they're breaking the law. And breaking that one eternal law is so predominant that most people hearing this won't even register. Oh, well, you're out of it. You're crazy. Oh, no way. I mean, come on. That's how tricky it is. That's how tricky the mind is, to convince you need to break this law. Because it's really not a law anyway, and then the law changed at some point, and you can do this, but notice the cause and effect, the effects that are going on. There's a cause. There's always a cause for an effect. It comes from you. Okay? The law. It's called the everlasting agreement. And one of my favorite people, Shmuel Asher, he's a rabbi, in his book, The Land of Meat and Honey. What a courageous man. What an amazing person. Researcher, learning the language, the Hebrew, and being able to actually understand what it was talking about and how that actually really is very harmonious with the Essenes. So my work is predominantly from the Essenes Yeshua. It's from metaphysics, which is how this realm operates, and the Vedic teachings, the Vaishnava path that I like so much, the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad. I mean, there's knowledge there. Don't think that somebody coming along with some channeled stuff is going to bring you something fabulous and new that nobody else ever knew before, but also it's also a bunch of nonsense to then actually encapsulate people in some kind of a belief system that says this is the way it is, when the person doesn't even do their own research and they trust someone outside themselves. But not a good idea, because you and then you use your own critical awareness analyzations of what's going on, and you can notice how some people are very happy, some people are miserable, some people are healthy, some people are sick. This is going on, but most people, they will just say, oh, that's just the way it is. No, but there's this everlasting agreement. And they say, well, God changed God's mind after the flood, and you could break the agreement. You can break the law. It's okay. And you know what the license is? It means something's licentious. But if you pay somebody some money, they'll give you a license, and then you can do it. Isn't that interesting? Well, who is it selling licenses and this sort of thing? Okay. The everlasting agreement. And it's interesting how with the Hindus, basically, the Hindu people, and also the original Buddhists, not those who are breaking the law now, of any of it, because they're going to pay the price. And there's only one law. Only one law to remember. Can you imagine? I mean, awesome. And that when you play by that law, you activate your soul. You activate your eternal existence. Someone says, well, I'm going to give you eternal life. You are eternal life. Nobody gives it to you. I'm going to give you life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Who are you to give me anything? You already have it. You just have to realize who and what you are. That's my work. That's my work for you. You have to want it. You have to be willing for it. You have to go for it. This one immutable, this one law pervades throughout all creation. Do not intentionally or in any way cause distress, harm, pain, suffering, and loss of their physical body, death, to any living entity, animal or human. Animal or human. Because we're cut out of the same fabric, animal and human. And you know that if you have a pet. But cows are the most giving of all. The milk. And then what do? Milk's bad. Well, because they sterilize it and kill it, so it's a bunch of dead milk cells in there with some fish oil, or however you want to look at that. But then you just it's all bad. The real sweet milk from a mother cow, from love of her baby, is cream, little honey, put a little cinnamon if you want. This is it. You're going to go, whoa. Okay, I'm not going to go more into this. See, we're pleasure seekers. And because pleasure is our nature. We are the pleasure of God, the divine. Not the God of a religion, so to speak. Because all those things that are written down by humans have intentions, have an agenda. Because this reality is created through words. This guy, Philip K. Dick, who is he's a science fiction writer. I don't know if he did 2001, but he does all those weird things. He was a guy that said he was out on amphetamines because he had to write 60 pages a day. Perfect. Because he had all his alimony to pay. So, he's pretty out there on these crazy things. But what he did say, given he knows about how this place operates, this is all words. And whoever controls the meanings of those words controls those people and controls that reality. The meaning of it. And the meanings are given to us. And those are communicated in every single kind of way, so that when we think of a word, we also, the computer that is operating, computers are operating after the mind, or vice versa, it calculates all of that. And then we experience and feel the meaning and give it life and give it power and have it manifest in the reality. This is how we are. This is how we operate. So when you take your power back, you take it back when you follow the law. Now you got all these man-made laws, all these laws and all these rules and figures and volumes and lawyers. There's only one law. Because if you're not a predator, you're not a vampire, you're not a parasite, a virus, bug, that has to have a host that it feeds on and feeds on. That's how they operate. Get a bug book. Then notice how your mind works. Very interesting, my dear. Do your research. Dig deep. Now, it's the killing of animals, the offering of blood, and Yeshua throwing the money changers who are using money to buy animals to slaughter for their God, threw them out. Because, Yeshua had lived in India and studied the Vedas, who are vegetarians, always have been, always will be. And when you realize, with real eyes, and take a look at what is causing the violence, is the violence of a person who has no soul. They have no feelings. They have no compassion. That's insect hive mentality. That's bug consciousness. When you want divine consciousness. You want the consciousness of a bug. Study up on it. Pretty amazing. But they have no soul. They have no blood. And the key, there is only one eternal law. Do not stop another living entity from being who they are. Harming them for your pleasure or your concern, abusing them, experimenting on them, researching on them, drugging them, poisoning them. A beast of burden, why would you do that to an animal? Well, because we have dominion. What does that mean? That does not. Who gave you that? Where did you get that? We're here, well, however we got here, probably because either we envied God, envied Source, envied others, and envy is a symptom of the mind virus. The bug consciousness that has infected humanity, and it's within them, in their bodies. And as they think and believe from the place of the mind, they're predators. And how are people ever going to trust each other and be happy and have what we call peace? You have to have it yourself. As long as if your neighbor's hungry, they could come over and take your body and your children and eat you. Oh, eat them. Really? And you have people, they called them dog eaters in India. They'd take the dog on a leash because they're going to eat a dog. They're going to eat a cow, a horse. Let me eat it. Let me eat a person. What are you? That's who you are. You're not a divine being. And you do not have eternal life. At all. You could be immortal. You could keep the meat stick going. But you're not who you are. And I know people, oh, I can't take this. Well, good. Move on. But I want you to know. It's a real easy one. Get his book, The Land of Meat and Honey. The Land of Meat and Honey. You can see where the Abrahamic got screwed up big time. And you know what? You could do it. Because then you are following the law. And when you do that, my daughter, my dear friend, you're home. That's love.